Good morning to everyone. At today's public hearing of the Vetting Commission established under Law Number 65 of the year 2023 on the external evaluation of judges and candidates for judges of the Supreme Court of Justice. I'm Scott Bales, the chair of the commission, and I declare this session open. The hearing is being conducted under Law Number 252 of the year 2023 on the external evaluation of judges and prosecutors and amending some normative acts and the Commission's rules of organization and functioning as part of the evaluation process. The subject of today's hearing is Ruxanda Pulbere, a judge of the Central Court of Appeals, previously until the end of last year, the Chisinau Court of Appeals. Judge Pulbere, welcome.
Bună ziua.
Judges, as noted in the hearing notice of the 15th of July 2025, the Superior Council of Magistracy, by its decision number 367/30, rejected your evaluation report and ordered the Commission to resume the evaluation process. Thus, in accordance with Article 20 of Law Number 252, the Commission invited you to attend today's hearing. As you see, I'm joined by 7 other commission members. To my left, or to your right, is Vice Chair Andre Bevel and commission members Lavely Perling, Willem Brouwer, and Yuri Gatskin. To my right are commission members Marcel van Vettering, Ulian Russo, and Garrett Sprenger. The Commission is also assisted by members of its Secretariat, and you may see also present in the room some members of the media or the public. The photographer will take pictures only at the beginning of the hearing. Hearing is being conducted with interpretation between Romanian and English. I ask that for accurate interpretation, everyone please speak clearly and slowly. Only one person should speak at a time. Furthermore, the proceedings are being recorded. The recordings of the public hearings of the Commission generally are available online at the Commission's website, www.vettingmd.eu, within 3 days after the hearing. During the hearing, members of the Commission may ask you questions. Please answer them truthfully and completely. Your explanations are important to the Commission in verifying your ethical and financial integrity. At the end of the hearing, you will be allowed to make a brief closing statement. In posing questions, we will consider your privacy and, where required and possible, the privacy of your family members and close persons. So we will omit unnecessary details relating to such things as ID numbers, bank account numbers, real estate addresses, and so on. For the protection of privacy, we ask you to do the same. I will now briefly review the evaluation process for Judge Pulbere. The Commission initiated its evaluation on the 11th of April 2024 by notifying the judge by email and asking her to complete and return an ethics questionnaire and the declarations required by Law Number 252. Judge Pulbere returned the completed declarations and questionnaire on the 1st of May of 2024. On August 12th of 2024, the Commission informed the subject that our evaluation file had randomly been assigned to Panel A, the Commission members Bevel, Perling, and Ansu. The subject confirmed the receipt of this notification and did not request any recusals in relation to any of the members of Panel A. Between the 1st of October and the 30th of December of 2024, the Commission asked Judge Pulbere to provide additional information to clarify certain matters during 3 rounds of questions. In accordance with Article 33, paragraph subsection 4, and paragraph 38, paragraph subsection 8 of the Commission's rules, the evaluation file was submitted for examination to the full Commission, as the panel could not reach unanimity on the approval of the hearing notice. On the 30th of January 2024, we notified Judge Pulbere that the Commission had identified some areas of doubt about her compliance with the financial criteria and invited her to attend a hearing on the 10th of February 2025. On the 31st of January 2025, Judge Pulbere asked the Commission for access to her evaluation materials and confirmed she would attend the hearing. Secretariat provided access to the evaluation materials on the 5th of February 2025. On the 9th of February of 2025, Judge Pulbere requested the hearings be held in a partially closed session. The request was granted. On the 10th of February 2025, Judge Pulbere attended the hearing before commission members and submitted additional documents. These were duly considered. On the 12th of February 2025, Judge Pulbere asked the commission to organize a new closed hearing so that her mother could clarify certain matters related to the financial criteria. The commission accepted her request. On the 17th of February 2025, the commission held a closed hearing with the subject's mother. After that hearing, on the 28th of February 2025, the subject submitted additional documents. The commission included them in its evaluation file and considered them in its analysis. On the 13th of May 2025, the commission adopted its evaluation report recommending that Judge Pulbere fail the external evaluation under the criteria set in Law Number 252. On the 14th of May 2025, the commission member Lillian Ansu submitted a dissenting opinion. On the 15th of July of 2025, the Superior Council of Magistracy, by its decision number 367/30, rejected the evaluation report and ordered the commission to resume the evaluation procedure. Commission member Lillian Ansu submitted a declaration of self-recusal. The commission accepted this declaration, and as a result, Mr. Ansu is not participating in the reevaluation procedure. During the period 12th of September through the 26th of September 2025, Judge Pulbere was asked and answered one additional round of questions. On the 23rd of October 2025, we notified Judge Pulbere of the commission's remaining doubts and invited her to attend today's hearing. On October 24th, 2025, Judge Pulbere requested that the hearing be held partially in closed session. The request was accepted. Judge Pulbere did not, again, ask the commission for access to the evaluation materials. Judge Pulbere, let me say two things before we go further. First, when we come to the point in the hearing that you believe we are discussing matters that should be covered in closed session, please tell me that, and we will at that point go into closed session. Second, are there any corrections or additions that you wish to make to the materials that you've provided to this point to the commission?
Da.
Yes.
Mulțumesc.
Yes, thank you, esteemed chair and members. Indeed, I have come for this hearing, this repeated hearing, and I also, well, with regards to the question you've just raised, there's something that I would like to say. I would like to ask you that you annex to the evaluation material some additional documentation, so following explanations provided and having gained access to databases. So I have indicated, and according to the decision of the Superior Council of Magistracy, the financial capacity of my mother was supposed to be analyzed. Her capacity to make donations to the husband as he reported under the fiscal amnesty. So my mother, when she was heard, she mentioned having sold 2 houses. And following the reevaluation, the commission has informed me that it did not find a document that would secure this link between the house in the Don Dușeni town and my family. So in this regard, I would like to ask you to add this, which is the contract out of which it follows that that house belonged to us, according to the commission. The commission has established that the first owners were other people than the members of my family. And the contract that I provide refutes that information, and even I also appear in this contract. So I can explain how I have obtained this contract. I have gotten in touch with the owners, the current owners of the house, and they did their best to get this, and I would like to ask you to include this in the file. And also, it's from those owners that I've obtained a copy of the contract regarding the sale of the house in the village of Corbu. The Commission has actually come across this issue, and it has confirmed that in the register such a transaction is indicated. And additionally, this contract, I would like to share it. Still, with regards to the financial capacity of my mother, I would like you to annex to the materials the copy from her working record, which confirms that she's had uninterrupted work since 1990. She's been in managerial positions. And all of the positions she's had are listed. Now, what I want to prove by providing this copy of her working records is the fact that from 1991 to 1998, including those years, she's worked in the same position. And given that the Commission has accepted her salary for 1998 as per the tables that were made available to me, so the circumstance of the continuity of her position that she's been in that position continuously, this is what I want to prove by providing this. And I would also like you to add to the evaluation file a copy of her retirement records that starting with 2007, she's been getting in November. She's been getting a retirement age pension that has been paid to her alongside a salary. Now, in the table that the Commission provided, there's the report on her financial capacity assessment, and with these in mind, I'd like to explain why I am providing this certificate. In fact, there are 3 records that I would like to make reference to now, but they have already been made available to you as part of the first round of hearings. And there is proof with regards to her salary pay slips starting with 2010, 2011, 2012. And now, with regards to the gross salary composition, the Commission has made some calculations and established the taxes. So regarding these 3 records, given that they're already part of the file, I will also ask for your opinion as to whether I need to provide them, or you already have that. Well, this is the documentation that I would like to further add to the file on this. I already have it.
All right. The documents that you've previously provided will remain part of the evaluation file, and if I've understood you correctly, you'd like to add to the file the 2 contracts related to residences and a copy of work records for your mother, and also a copy of retirement records. Is that correct? 4 documents?
Exact. Da.
Okay.
Exact, da.
And
that is correct.
I see you have copies there. Have you provided these to the Secretariat?
I haven't. It's now that I'm doing this, and I'm providing them to the Secretariat now.
Okay, well, we will include them in the file. And let me then ask another question. Judge Pulbere, are there any changes that you would today make to your answers to the ethics questionnaire that you returned to the Commission on May 1st, 2024? Has anything changed in terms of your answers to that questionnaire?
No, nothing has changed.
All right. Members of the Commission will now ask some additional questions. We will try to keep our questions short and to the point. We ask that your answers be short and to the point as well. Commission Member Lavley Perling will begin the questions.
If I may, you drew my attention to the fact that when I was going to address a matter that is to be heard in a closed session. Now, given that the evaluation is resumed, there were 2 matters that were supposed to be looked into further with regards to the financial capacity of my parents, and also thinking of the donation to the husband, and in relation to the purchase of a car. Now, if the questions that are going to be asked are related to the financial capacity of my parents, then my request is a continuity of a previous request, which has been settled in the past, to be addressed in a closed hearing. So that was the only clarification that I would like to make regarding a closed session on this matter.
Thank you. Ms. Perling, would this be an appropriate time to go into closed session, given the
Yes,
commission's-
if I will ask the question and you feel that that's now the topic where you would like to close the hearings, then you can say it. But yes, we have some questions about them.
All right. Given that, we'll go at this time into closed session, and we will return to open session before concluding the hearing. We now are back in the public session of today's hearing, and Commission Member Perling will continue with the questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Two more issues from SCM report. First of all, potential duplication of CEP by some retails expenses included in the outgoing financial flows. The question is very simple. As you saw, the Commission revised the calculation of SIP based on SCM recommendations, and your answers in re-evaluation procedure. Do you have anything to add to this aspect? Or you have done everything?
Nothing to add for this aspect. I've seen that the Commission has taken into account this, and some amounts diminished with regards to the expenses.
Thank you. And the last issue, this is BMW WX4. We talk about the car of your daughter, and the question is the attribution of a vehicle to your household. And as you saw in the hearing notice, the Commission maintained the attribution of a BMW X4 vehicle and expense to your common household, and based on the following criteria. First of all, your answers in the initial evaluation and confirmation in re-evaluation stage that your household in 2017 consisted of you, husband and daughter, and your daughter was dependent. The circumstances were confirmed by your declaration submitted to NIA and State Fiscal Service, and the third, in your written explanation to Judicial Inspector, you also explained that declared your daughter's apartment in 2018. That means that she was part of your family, your household. And my question is very simple. Would you like to add any comments of the matters, or to provide any new details, or you accept it?
I would like to come with several explanations about this, if you allow me.
Yeah, please.
With regards to establishing my daughter as a dependent, actually, this is an interpretation of what I explained earlier in the statement to the Judicial Inspector, which you mentioned. Regarding this aspect, according to Article 2 of Law 133, the concept or the notion of dependent is a person who meets cumulatively the following conditions. First condition, lives together with the subject of the declaration or is dependent on him or her. And I would like to highlight the use of the phrase or, the word or, and has an annual income which does not exceed 2 average monthly salaries per economy. When I mentioned in the earlier declarations about my daughter as a dependent, I didn't mean the criterion in letter A, which refers to the person depending on the subject. And in the declaration provided to the Judicial Inspector and before the Superior Council of Magistracy as well as in the first round of evaluation, I explained that I evaluated, appreciated under this category my daughter given the criterion as lives together with the subject and has an annual income which does not exceed 2 salaries. This is the criterion by which she was defined as a dependent, not because she was like the phrase used after the word or in that definition of the law.
Sorry, Madam Pulbere. You answered to Mr. President that you confirm that all your declarations are correct. Do you still confirm it?
Yes, they are all correct, but we shouldn't determine based on the notion. There are different notions in the law, more notions in the law. That's what I wanted to highlight here, that I told the judicial inspector when I said that she's a dependent, the law establishes the criterion of living together, not necessarily that she needs to be dependent. If we look at Article 2 as a notion, it says that living together or is supported by the subject. So these are two criterion working not cumulatively,
Yes.
but alternatively.
Yes. And would you like to add something about this topic if we talk about the car and was the part of your household or no?
I would like to just mention lastly, with regard to this procurement, attributing these expenses to my family should be done only through the prism of the criterion of actual beneficiary. And this criterion of actual beneficiary as a criterion for the outgoing flows was applied largely broadly both by the Commission, and also this criterion was confirmed by the Superior Council of Magistracy in other cases. The Commission indicated the basis for return to the criteria of living together, and they made reference to a case of the SCM where the actual beneficiary was applied, and the SCM considered that the living together criterion should be applied. And I will repeat again, in my situation, a living together condition was already established or appreciated. So with regard to this car, the actual beneficiary should be established only. And after I received the notification from the Commission, I looked again at all the decisions and public reports of the Commission, and I haven't identified any report, any decision by the Commission retaining this. Maybe this is a case which is not published yet where this criterion was applied. But for attributing the expenses and the properties, the criterion of the actual beneficiary was applied basically in all the cases, both by the Commission and this was supported by the SCM. That's why I kindly ask in my situation to apply the same criterion of beneficial owner, which I wasn't and haven't been, and I honestly declared that I never hid this car. I haven't included that in the declaration as a result of extraordinary evaluation. This was declared from the very beginning. This is not my property, and I will repeat that again.
Does I understand you confirm?
Deci, dumneavoastră confirmați.
Yes.
We live together in the same apartment. Deci acest criteriu exista. The criterion of living together, yes, this one is. Și ce ați vrea să ne spuneți? Cine era beneficiarul efectiv al mașinii?
Am înțeles întrebarea. Da, cine era beneficiarul efectiv? Fiica mea.
Fiica
mea majoră, eu nu am folosit o zi de acest automat.
I never used this car, not a single day. I haven't paid anything for it. There is no relationship. There haven't been any insurances related to me. I haven't crossed any borders with it. That's why I kindly ask you to use this criterion, the criterion of attributing the properties on the criteria of if beneficial owner. There are cases of my colleagues which benefited from this criterion of beneficial owner, and I will not mention them. And these properties weren't retained in their names, although in some cases I haven't used this property, never, although in their cases they did.
Thank you. No more questions.
May I?
Yes, Mr. Brouwer and then Commission Member Beagle.
A very short clarification, Madam Pulbere. Did I understand correctly that when you declared that your daughter was a dependent, that you meant she was living with you and she was not financially dependent?
Exact.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. So you say she was dependent according to letter A of the law, but not according to letter B. Well, the second criteria, it's the or criterion.
Litera A, de fapt, conține.
Actually, letter A contains these both criteria: living together or being supported or being dependent.
So you did not support your daughter
Deci,
during those days?
Nu.
None
No.
whatsoever.
Nu. În acea perioadă eu eram
No.
bine, întrețineam în ce.
Well, supporting her in the sense that we were living together, we were eating together, but like buying any goods for her, like a car, totally not.
Did she have her own income?
Dacă e să vorbim despre
Speaking about my daughter, in the statements provided by my mother, if we remember, my mother had a card which she provided not only to my daughter but to her other grandchildren, and they had the possibility to withdraw money from that card. But she didn't have big expenses that required substantial support in terms of big expenses or big amounts.
But she covered the expenses for the car.
Dar ea a acoperit cheltuielile pentru mașină utilizând acel card de la bunica?
Nu mi-a fost tradusă întrebarea, îmi pare rău, dar nu se aude traducerea în...
Oh,
Da, iată acum e bine.
something with the translation, I think, yes.
Nu, categoric nu.
Absolutely not.
Banii de la bunica de pe
The
card,
money
asta
from
e
grandma's from the
întrebarea în
grandma's
legătură cu
card is
cheltuielile
when you
ei
asked me about her
cotidiene.
day-to-day
Automobilul
expenses.
acesta
That is for the
categoric nu a
car
fost
that was
folosit de către
certainly
banii de la bunica
not
din ea
paid
maternă.
with
Acesta a
the
fost
grandmother's
cadou din partea
money on my mother's
dumneiilor,
line. So
așa
that
cum am
was a
explicat
present
în
from the
toate
grandparents, as
rândurile
I've
de întrebări,
explained in
din
all the
partea
rounds of questions, a
paternă.
present from her father's grandparents. For her parents on the father's line.
That's what you explained, but I mean the current costs of a car, the gasoline, the maintenance, whatever. Your daughter paid that herself?
Da, de sine stătător.
Yes, she was paying for that herself.
And she paid that because she had this card of her grandmother.
Bine că posibil ceva de pe cardul bunicii.
Well, she
ceva
could have used something from the
bunei,
grandmother's card, something
bunei
the
o ajuta
grandparents
și
would
atât din partea
also
mea și ca
help
și din
her,
partea
and
soțului.
so both
Did she
both
also
couples of
have-
grandparents, so to speak.
Did she also work? Did she have a job of a kind?
Nu, ea nu avea un loc de muncă.
No, she was not officially working.
Thank you.
Do any of the other commission members have any additional questions? Yes.
Mrs. Pulbere, I was wondering who was paying for the food of your daughter? You were eating together? You paid for the food? Did she pay for the food? Every day?
Nu, achitam noi și dacă
Well, we were paying, and if you look at the calculations for 2017, the foodstuffs, the CEP for my daughter is included as an outgoing flow, so that was taken into account.
All right. Judge Pulbere, is there anything else you would like to say in addition to what you've already told the Commission at this point?
Dacă aceasta este ceea ce urmează să comunic eu la sfârșitul
Well, if this is supposed to be my final word for the closing of this hearing, then I would like to thank you for having given me the possibility to appear in front of you and provide further clarifications with regards to questions and matters that the members of the Commission required further clarification on. I would like to again draw the attention of the Commission members to the fact that I have honestly reported all of my expenses that normally if I didn't report it, that they would have never become known to the Commission if I didn't do that. But the fact that I've reported honestly and I did not undervalue them, I've just explained and reported them as they were, and I did that because those amounts, they have actually occurred. And I believed that by reporting them transparently, by showing the lifestyle of my family, I thought it was for the best interest of this evaluation procedure. Now, the fact that I decided to talk about it, to communicate this information, is yet another proof of the fact that there is nothing for me to hide, that they understood properly the evaluation procedure. I did not regard this as a perfunctory or formal endeavor, but I have been indeed willing to let the truth be known, and I wanted to meet the assessment evaluation committee halfway. I hope that you will apply to me the same criteria of assessment as far as the evidence is concerned, well, same as those in the public reports and that were accepted by the Superior Council of Magistracy, as we can see in their decisions. So when it comes to beneficial owners, when it comes to those self-statements, given that my mother also was heard was heard by you. It was not just a statement written, but she appeared in front of you and before you, and that I think that what was shed light upon today's hearing, I hope will help you address those doubts that you've raised with regards to me. Thank you.
Thank you. And Judge, thank you for the information you've provided to the Commission, including your answers to the questions today. That brings us to the end of today's hearing. After the hearing, the Commission will approve an evaluation report stating its conclusion whether the subject meets the criteria for ethical and financial integrity under Law Number 252. The Commission will strive to complete and approve its evaluation report and announce its conclusion as soon as possible. Today's hearing is now closed and the Commission is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Da, mulțumesc. Și în legătură cu
Thank you, and with regards to the documentation that you have, I shall leave them here.
Thank you.